Welcome to the Youth Revival YouTube channel. We're exploring this idea of reviving youth ministry in the church. And last time, in part one, we talked about having a vision. If you've not seen that, then I want to encourage you to go back, watch that and begin to apply that, because this is kind of like the next step on reviving youth ministry in the church and what I believe. I'm taking this from my experience of 10 plus years in youth ministry and going back right to the start where we had 8 young people in our youth ministry. And as we developed a vision, and as we moved forward and as we worked through these steps and as we began to implement them, we saw hundreds of young people make decisions to follow Jesus. We saw hundreds of young people calling our youth ministry home and being connected to our youth ministry. But I guess, as I mentioned in the last episode, that many of us have felt the hard work and the pinch of what was the COVID pandemic and trying to revive and reignite our youth ministries. Maybe it's been hard to reignite our leaders as well. And so today I want to talk about the second part. So you got the vision, you got a picture, you're beginning to explain that maybe to your leaders, and you're beginning to put it in the forefront of of your youth ministry, in the forefront of their minds, so that they can run with it. The second thing is, once you've got a vision, you've got to create a plan. A plan. How are we going to achieve this vision? How are we going to do this? Let me take you back to the start. We had 8 young people. How are we going to reach young people with the message of Jesus? There's just 8 young people, and I know young people reach young people. And so we wanted to build youth ministry, not youth club, but we needed something where young people were going to invite their friends to come along to our youth ministry. And so we put a plan together. That plan was based on a monthly calendar. Let's say we had 4 weeks in the month. The first 3 weeks would be all about worship, word, and relationship, and we would be going full on youth ministry. But that 4th week, we would do something, and we didn't frame it, we didn't call it this, we called it something different, and we created different names for it, but like a social, where we wanted young people to bring their friends to it. And it was such a huge success. And I want to tell you why it was a huge success. Because it wasn't an afterthought, and it wasn't just a let's throw a load of games consoles and let's do this. We were really creative in this, like super creative with what we did on those nights. We ran themed nights where people dressed up and got involved. We ran something called Golden Bulbs, where young people created videos, which is so much more accessible today than it was 10 plus years ago. But young people created videos, movies, short films, short like episodes that then we would show on the big screen in church, and then we would give out awards, the best director, best actor, best actress, etc., etc. But it was an opportunity for them to invite their friends. But here's what happened, because we could just put on those events and they could be great for our young people, but we shared the vision. Here's what we want to see. We want to reach a whole load of young people with the message of Jesus. And maybe this is the starting point for them to become connected with our youth ministry. And so we had a plan, and we communicated that with our young people. We shared with them, hey, every 4th Friday of this month, we're going to be doing whatever the social was. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing Golden Bulbs. You've submitted your movies. Now you need to bring your friends. It's going to be like an awards night. We're doing this theme night. We're doing a water fight, a manhunt. We did something called a mattress run. Maybe we'll share that idea another time. We did all of these different ideas. Why? We were willing to do crazy things so young people had a great time and so they could invite their friends to it. We saw huge success with that. Huge success. Sometimes on those nights we'd turn up and we had more young people than we expected to turn up, and we had to change plans and be flexible on those nights. But that was us having a plan of how we were going to see the vision fulfilled. There was a moment years later where there was a tipping point where we didn't need to run as many of those socials because that invitation culture had been built into our youth ministry, so much so that young people were inviting their friends not just to the socials, but to every single Friday night. And so then we had a tipping point where we didn't have to run as many of those socials, but we still do that today. Why? Because we want to reach young people with the message of Jesus. And maybe reviving the youth ministry in the church means that you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan. You need to have a plan of how you're going to execute this, how you're going to see the vision fulfilled. And here's what I want to say to you today is sometimes we can get a plan and we can put all our, there's a phrase, we put all our eggs in one basket. You can have a plan, but that plan can shift. The vision doesn't shift, but the plan can shift. And you can make different plans and you can get different ideas and you can ask for different ideas. You can get ideas, I guess you're on here looking for ideas on the internet. You can get ideas and begin to implement them and try to see if they'll work in your location where you're based. I believe this is a key part of reviving great youth ministries in the church. But I want to say this, God cares more about you than he does about the plan. And so this has to come out of a place of great relationship with God, of making sure that you're healthy and you're strong, because as you do this, there's going to be moments where you face disappointments. There's going to be moments where something didn't work. And that's not on you. You can just take that, you can debrief it, you can look at it and you can go, that didn't work, so we're going to try something different. That did work, so maybe we need to do more of that or do that even better. We can do that, but that comes out of a great relationship with God. And so I want to encourage you today to sit down, have your vision in front of you and then go, okay, so what does this look like? Maybe there's some goals that you need to set. Some numerical goals that you need to set that actually goes, do you know what? We want to see this many young people come through our doors, new young people, this many young people reconnecting. We want to see this happen. And it's the plan of what God wants to do in your youth ministry. Here's some questions for you. Have you spent time allowing God to prepare your heart and prepare you for the plan that he has for your youth ministry? A healthy you means that your youth ministry can be healthy. The second question is this. Have you ever strategically looked at your vision? Getting a strategy and a plan and saying, okay, we're going to plan the next 6 months or the next 4 months, or we're going to plan this out to see if we can see us move towards the vision that God has given us. And the last question is this. This is the question I used to ask myself all the time. What can I do today to help grow my youth ministry? To help grow the youth ministry that's been entrusted to me? What can I do today? What can I do today to encourage a young person? What can I do today to build myself up and grow in my ability and my gifting? What can I do today that would help us move towards the vision that God has given you as a youth ministry? It starts with a vision. It starts with having that vision, keep it in the forefront, have that picture in the forefront, and then create a plan. Make a plan and ask God to speak into the plan that you're creating. I believe that as you do this, you can revive your youth ministry. And it's not a 5-minute fix. It's a ongoing debriefing, feedback, moving forward. That worked, that didn't work. It's developing all of that will move you forward in your youth ministry. We believe here at Youth Revival that we can revive youth ministries in the church and we can see a move of God amongst young people. So get a plan. Strategically look at your vision and get a plan and begin to implement those steps and ask those questions of yourself today. And I look forward to seeing you next time on the Youth Revival YouTube channel.